Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday, TGIF, January the 30th, and we're here to look at the rest of the new releases in Cozy Mysteries that are published this week. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, and that one goes for 5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, be creative, close your eyes because it's the weekend. Whatever it is that is your self-care, that is the time, space, and ambiance for you to do that for yourself. Come hang out. Bring a friend. Alrighty, so we started these Cozy Mysteries on Monday. We didn't get to all of them. This is the rest of the story. Alright, we were going to start on the white one, I believe. We did Lights Out. Body in the Bunker by Jackie Sharp, 6th in the Wharf Rats Mysteries. Mayor Gordon Godson is driving full swing into his latest tourism scheme, revamping Shell Bay's neglected golf course, but when the newly arrived golf pro, Andy Hayworthy, is found dead in a hazardous bunker, Gordon's plans land in the rough. With his wife, social media influencer Maria Godson, taking private lessons from the victim, the mayor quickly becomes the prime suspect. Detective Inspector Linda Jenkins and Sergeant Ray Reynolds must navigate a course of hidden motives and secret affairs to uncover the truth. But they're not the only ones hunting for clues. The Wharf Rats, Agnes, Natalie, and Tyler, are determined to chip in and solve the case themselves. As the investigation reaches a boiling point, Linda and Ray discover that everyone in Shell Bay has something to hide. Can they avoid the sand traps laid by the cunning killer, or will the case end up in a watery grave? Excuse me. Runs with Scissors, 1st in the Troublemaker Club Cozy Mysteries by Carolyn L. Dean. Jessica Winters is ready for a new chapter. Something simple, calm. Not going to happen. After a messy divorce left her wallet light and her heart heavy, Jessica packs up and heads to Hazenville to be closer to her daughter and grandson. She lands a job in the local library, expecting a cozy life filled with quiet stacks and Dewey Decimal numbers. It sounds like the perfect, peaceful, fresh start. Hazenville has other plans. The silence of the library is shattered when a murder investigation turns the small town upside down. Jessica quickly discovers that her quirky neighbors are right in the middle of the police suspect list. Unable to sit on the sidelines while her new friends face scrutiny, she decides to do a little digging of her own. Now she must sift through the town's secrets to find the truth. Jessica needs to catch a killer before her fresh start comes to a dead end, too. This has 2 colons for titles. Island Life, Patricia Fisher, Ship's Detective, by Steve Higgs, 11th in the Patricia Fisher Ship's Detective series. Moored along the tranquil islands off Thailand's coast, the Aurelia's passengers are completely unaware of the danger lurking just out of sight. Patricia would happily remain oblivious too, but that's not really how her life works. So when a couple report their teenage kids have gone missing, the ship's detective swings into action. Had she glimpsed the terror awaiting her, she might have thought twice. No, she wouldn't have. There's kids missing. There's a secret to uncover. The kind people will kill to protect, and she must expose it if there is any hope of rescuing the missing teenagers. More alone than usual, running for her life and short on plans, things don't look like they can get much worse, which is when she sees the Aurelia sailing into the sunset without her on board. Get ready for mystery and mayhem. They're just not into you. End of that road. Need a glug of coffee. Witches in War by Sarah Ray Drake, 6th in Woods Crossing Magical Mysteries. Nothing is ever peaceful in a small town full of witches like Woods Crossing, not even for a wedding. Sage is supposed to be planning a wedding and grieving someone close to her, not defending herself to the council. Yet here they are, trying to claim there was wrongdoing on her part during her unavoidable duel with Chandra. She and those she loves are determined to make sure the wedding bells will ring regardless, but when one magical disaster happens, others always follow. A new coven shows up in town with wild claims and dangerous magic, threatening Sage, her friends, and even the council itself. Ancient secrets will finally be revealed, curses broken, and love solidified in the final installment of the Cozy Paranormal Cozy Mysteries. And this isn't your fluffy 100-pager. This has 331 pages. But it sounds like you need to start at the beginning. A Murder on the Thames by Magda Alexander, third in the Rosalind and Steele series. I have not read this, but covers like this always capture my attention. I might have to check it out. I don't know if I have or not. London, 1889. As spring settles over London, bodies of young women begin washing up along the Thames, women no one seems to miss, many of them former residents of charitable institutions. When a concerned mission worker reaches out to Lady Rosalind, what begins as a simple act of compassion soon reveals something far darker. These women weren't merely lost, they were deliberately erased. But when the daughter of an aristocrat disappears and her desperate father turns to the Duke of Steele, the danger can no longer be ignored. As Steele investigates the missing young lady and Rosalind searches for the truth behind the murders, their inquiries converge. Together they are drawn into the shadowy underworld of London, where respectability conceals unspeakable crimes and the river keeps its secrets well. But with danger comes exposure and consequence. Rumors swirl, reputations teeter, and the bond between Rosalind and Steele grows harder to ignore. As they race to stop a killer, they must decide whether their partnership can survive the weight of scandal and whether her heart can survive him. I see the name Steele and think, Remington Steele. Try this for a deep, dark secret. The great detective Remington Steele, he doesn't exist. I invented him. Follow. God, I love that show. Hit Me With Your Best Hex by Carolyn Ritter Aspenson. 29th in the Witches of Holiday Hills Cozy Mystery Series. Holiday Hills is finally settling down until someone breaks into the town's hex registry and steals powerful magic meant to keep everything in balance. For newly awakened witch and cozy mystery writer Abby Odell, that theft turns everyday life into absolute magical chaos. Spells misfire, emotions spiral out of control, and the entire town teeters on the edge of disaster. There's a lot of teetering today. With the divine breathing down her neck and the police chief struggling to keep order, Abby has only days to uncover who tampered with the magic before the consequences become permanent. At her side is Cooper, her sharp-tongued Burmese familiar, whose instincts are as keen as his commentary is unfiltered. A talking owl. Yep. As Abby follows a trail of secret suspects and unstable spells, she discovers that messing with magic is far more dangerous than anyone imagined, and the thief may be closer than she thinks. And it gives you a list of how you will feel. This is how you're going to feel when you read it. Dead in the Water by Patty Larson. These covers are always striking because you don't really see characters with that black of a hair and blue eyes like that. 18th in the White Witch Island Paranormal Cozies. George's first case with Harriet's PI firm wasn't meant to land so close to home, but when White Witch Island's own police force isn't able to investigate the death of a swimmer during a long-distance competition, thanks to corruption implications and the island's council torn between loyalties to their new mayor and the old one, it's up to Georgia and Harriet to handle things before the killer gets away with murder. And the dog isn't messing around either. End of that row. Steeping on Ice by B.I. Skinner. 5th in the Eerie Estes Mysteries. Okay. When the Grudge runs colder than a Colorado winter. Ellie Reed's first Winter Arts Festival in Estes Park should have been a peaceful celebration of ice sculptures, funnel cakes, and cocoa. Didn't we already do this one? Plus, it doesn't come out. How did this sneak in here? Ignore what I just said. That one had its date slip. Here's another January. All In by Joanna Campbell Slan, related to the Kiki Lowenstein mystery series. All In isn't just a poker story, it's a race to save a family. Are you ready for a clean, cozy thriller? Blah, blah, blah. Brick Lansky has always survived by being calm, controlled, and careful. But when his family is threatened, his usual patience becomes his most dangerous weapon. Focus. And for the first time in his life, he does something he swore he'd never do. He goes to Las Vegas to play a high-stakes poker tournament. His wife, Danny, is trying to hold everything together. Their family's fortune is fragile, and one wrong move could cost them the little boy she loves with her whole heart. As pressure mounts, the Lansky family is hit from every direction, a betrayal that cuts close to home, a threat that refuses to stay buried, and a dangerous opponent who's been waiting far too long to see Brick fail. Now Brick must win the one game he can't afford to lose, because this time the stakes aren't chips. It's not money. Not money this time. The last one that we have here, Telltale Treats. 3rd in the Magical Fortune Cookie series by Jennifer J. Chow. A group of high school alumni reunite years later and reserve rooms at Pixie Inn for an extended retreat. As part of their pampering package, Felicity delivers a scrumptious assortment of enchanted pastries, including her new almond cookies. But the queen bee of the group is soon found dead in her bathroom, drowned in the tub, and she recently sampled the delicious baked goods. Could Felicity's almond cookies have set off a fatal nut allergy? The enchanted pastries are supposed to bring joy, not sorrow, and certainly not death. Boyfriend, Kelvin Love, is eager to assist, although odd things have been happening to his senses ever since he baked with Felicity. Will his extra sensitivity help or hinder the investigation? Plus, Special Bunny Whiskers lends a magical paw to the detecting, since Felicity can't and won't relax until she restores both order and magic to her world. Sometimes you just can't control things. That is all that we have. For this week. What I can do, let's see if I can bring up my let's see if it's going to let me do this. Yes. All right. So it is January 30th. Tomorrow is the last day of January. And this was the 3rd annual Midwinter Hissmist. And I can show you the historical mysteries real super quickly that I finished this month, and then tell you about a little bit more about the February one. So I finished most recently Masquerade in London by Emily L. Finch, first in a series set in 1861 London. I gave it 3 stars, which is a little bit generous. I was a little disappointed because the main character does something that, while isn't completely out of bounds, it seemed a little unlikely, and it threw me out. So I couldn't quite enjoy it from there on. I read Hollow Crown by David Roberts, third in the Lord Edward Corinth and Verity Brown series set in 1930s London. This one I also gave 3 stars. I wanted to enjoy it more because it was touching upon the King Edward Wallace Simpson situation, but the main characters are kind of unlikable, so that also threw me out. Then I read A Gentleman Far From Home, which is 11th in the Lord Julian Mysteries by Grace Burrows. 5 stars. Absolutely love this series. Highly recommend. Start at the beginning. New to me, also, The Secrets of Wishtide by Kate Saunders. First of 3. There's only 3. By Kate Saunders, because she got ill and passed away, I believe. So there was only 3. It is, I believe, set in the 1860s of London, or England. I really liked it. I started the year with The Business of Blood, another new to me series, though I've been aware of it for quite a while, by Kerrigan Byrne, set in 1890 London. I had been avoiding it because it touches upon Jack the Ripper, and I don't really care for Jack the Ripper stories. But I did read it this time, and I really did like it, so I will be continuing in that series as well. I'm currently reading an advanced reading copy of Murder by Moonrise by Patrice McDonough. Haven't finished it yet, but I do recommend this series as well. So that was my January midwinter hist mist. Now in February, I'm going to try a new one. It's called the White Whale Readathon. Hi, Amy. She says, great group of cozies, and good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope you're having a good morning. So in February, I've not done this one before. This is the inaugural. We'll see how it goes. White whale books. Books that you have always meant to read and keep avoiding. Or a book that you keep starting and pausing and starting and pausing because you have squirrel moments or what have you. So these are books that are your nemesis. And like Moby Dick, White Whale. And so I put together a list for myself, mostly in the murders. I had a whole list of other things, but I'm focusing on the murder mystery stuff. There is one sci-fi in there. These are books that I have started and stopped and started and stopped. Seriously, I really have. So this is the TBR I'm pulling from. I don't know why I can't push past a few pages, but I'm going to try. So, The Gilded Shroud. I should love this. It's by Elizabeth Bailey. It is set in the 1700s. Another one of my favorite, the Georgian period, one of my favorites. Love it. A Free Man of Color by Barbara Hambley. I enjoy Barbara Hambley's writing. This one is set in New Orleans. That might be, I have a hard time with historical mysteries set in the U.S. Great series. Lots of books. Should read it. Thursday Murder Club. Should read it. It's not a historical, but it is a mystery. I have probably started and stopped because it has gotten so hyped and I just have a problem with that. That's my own personal hurdle to get over. A Dark Anatomy by Robin Blake. I've had this one forever. I don't know why, I just can't get past it. As well as The Heiress of Lynn Ha by Karen Charlton. As well as Maisie Dobbs by Jacqueline Linspear. This entire row. All these books. I don't know why. A part of me says, jump to chapter 2 and see if that, forget that there's a chapter 1, treat chapter 2 as chapter 1 and just move forward. So, those are my list of possibilities for the White Whale Readathon. If you want to participate, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be mysteries. Whatever is your personal book nemesis, give it another shot. It's a short month. You don't have to read a whole bunch. Just try one. So that is part of my TBR in February. But next up for me, indeed, after what I have going on right now on Tuesday, is the new JD Robb, and that's just going to jump the queue no matter what. So that is most imminent on my TBR. But that is it for today. The bell's about to ring pretty soon. Hope you have a good weekend. Now our reading sprints, as usual, are on Saturday starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Goes for 5 hours. So come hang out if you want to. Pop in, say hi. We would love that as well. Tell your friends, because we are small but mighty, but would love to grow. But we got to get through Friday first, so I hope you have a good Friday. Stay warm, stay safe, read good books, and as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom. Have a good day and God bless. And